Hello everybody and welcome to this yoga-inspired Pilates session. We don't need any equipment today, just you and your mat, so roll it out and let's get started. We're going to begin in a child's pose, so either with knees open or closed, sinking down, glutes to heels, and stretching the arms forward. Now, if this is uncomfortable at all, you can pop a block or a blanket or a pillow under the glutes, and that tends to help. And as we melt into the mat, take an inhale through the nose and sigh out the mouth. Just landing in the space, landing in your body, noticing what kind of energy you've shown up in the room with today, and taking this time to set your intention for the workout ahead. How do you want to feel by the end of this session? What is your goal, whether it's physical, mental, emotional? Take that time to tune in now. Then on next inhale, come on up to a tabletop position. We're going to exhale to round the spine, inhale to drop the belly, open the chest for a couple rounds of cat-cow, making this movement as exaggerated as you possibly can. And take this time to explore your spine, see if you can locate all four corners of the back. Barrel rolls, wag the tail, whatever feels good, just listen to the body and move as freely as you can. On your next inhale, shift the hips forward, open up the chest and the throat, then tuck the chin, roll the spine, glutes to heels. So we're flowing between a king cobra as you breathe in and a child's pose as you breathe out. Now, when you're flowing into your king cobra, do just be careful that you're not dumping into the lower back and sinking into the shoulders. We want to have this really lifted feeling, even though the thighs are still on the floor. So one more here, exhale, round the spine, push it all the way back to the child's pose and straight back up to tabletop. From here, we are going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, and land in our first downward dog of the day. So you might like to pedal the heels out, maybe you want to hold in stillness, just explore this posture for a moment. Now with shoulders away from the ears, guide the heels down and up from the mat. So we're doing double leg calf raises in our downward dog position. Keeping the knees as straight as you can, but of course, if they need a little bit of a bend, that is a-okay. You can see mine are even bent as well. Our first downward dog of the day is never going to be the most flexible one. All right, it's time to flow. We're going to tuck the chin, roll the spine forward to a high plank, then soften the knees, push back and hips to the roof. So we're not quite touching the knees to the ground. We're just flowing in this almost like a big triangle. Roll to high plank, bend the knees, hips back, and then hips up to downward dog. On your next inhale, we're going to take right leg up to the roof, switching on the right glute and jumping into some calf raises on the left side. Now, I don't care how high your right leg is. I want the hips square, legs as straight as they can go, and right glute firing up to keep your leg in the air. Then inhale to open the hip, bend the knee into scorpion tail, and guide the right leg back down to meet the left. Now we're going to flow in the opposite direction of what we did before. So the knees soften to the mat. We push the weight all the way past the tops of the fingers, then tuck the chin back to downward dog. So just as we were doing before, but in the opposite direction. Let's calf raise on the other side. So inhale, left leg to the sky, and right heel starts to lift and lower. Careful of your shoulders, make sure they're still away from the ears. Left glute should be on fire, and we're trying to keep those legs as straight as they can. Breathe in, bend the knee, open the hip, and left foot down to the right. Now make your way to the top of the mat. Come and stand up tall. It's time for Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A, but the Pilates version. So we're going to inhale to sweep the arms to the sky, then sit the hips back. You've got 5 squats with arms overhead. So we always want to break from the hips first when it comes to a squat, rather than bending the knees first. Think about sitting back into a chair. Fold and release down to the ground, then bending through one knee, we're going to sweep the arms open and close. Hands back to the ground, bend the other knee, open the chest, and we're just getting as much twist through our spine as we can, whilst also getting a cheeky little hamstring stretch in there. Inhale, flatten out the spine into a halfway lift. Hands come forward, biceps next to the ears. Then from here, we're going to start to swim one arm at a time back, looking over the shoulder and straight back ahead. So swim it back, touch your back glute. How many times can I say back and then back to the front? One more time here. Exhale to fold. Step behind you to high plank, shoulders rounded, knees gently lower to the mat, and then elbows back. Exhale as you lower all the way down to the ground, chaturanga. Now 5 back extensions here, lifting from your mid to upper back and squeezing in between the shoulder blades. Try not to lift the feet, as tempting as it might be, and keep your hip bones pressing down into the mat. One more squeeze, hands down, tuck the toes, brace the core, and press on up to a full high plank position. Nice work. Feet walk into the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Arms reach ahead of you, then we're going to double swim. So both arms back to the glutes. The shoulder blades draw down the spine, and you should feel the whole backside of your body on fire here. One more. Tap the glutes, reach it forward. Exhale, fold. Roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Palms touch at the top, and exhale, hands to heart. Nice work, everybody. That was one round. Take a big, deep breath, and we're going to get ready to do it again. Breathe in as your arms circle to the sky, hips back, 5 squats. Pressing through the heels, core is switched on, shoulders are away from the ears. 2 more here, hips back as you inhale, exhale to stand. 1 more, hips back, and exhale, fold down. Now twisting through the spine, 1 knee bends at a time. Try to straighten out the other leg. Inhale to open, exhale back to center, and swap it over. One more time, breathe in to open, breathe out to close. Halfway lift on your inhale, arms reach forward. As we swim the arms, we're going to add a bend and stretch through the legs. Keep that spine as long as you can, drawing shoulders down the back and swimming forward. One more time, bend, stretch, and relax down. Step back to your high plank, full chaturanga this time. Knees up off the ground if you can, and lower belly. Take the arms wide for our back extensions, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Squeeze the shoulder blades, hip bones pressed into the mat, and feet are down. One more, breathe in, lift, and hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes, brace the core, push on up. High plank, nice work. Walk the feet into the hands. We'll take one more halfway lift as we breathe in. Arms forward, biceps next to ears, just hold. Exhale, fold. Scoop the belly as you roll up. Palms to touch at the sky and hands to heart. Summer steady, nice work. That is our second round of Sun Sal A. We are going to do one more, so breathe in. And breathe out. All right, let's do it. Inhale, arms reach to the sky. Sit back, squat. Can you squat just a little bit deeper this time? Can the arms reach with a touch more energy forward, keeping heels planted into the earth? Let's pulse it out. Pulse, pulse. That's it. Reaching forward, down, little lower. You've got it. 3, 2, and fold. Nice work. Inhale to open the chest, stretching one leg at a time. Exhale back to center and open the other way. Can you twist a little bit further? is your straight leg pressing back behind you so you're getting that juicy hamstring stretch. One more each side. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Breathe in, halfway lift. Arms forward. You know what we're doing. Bend the knees as you swim. Straighten to come back in front of you. How much energy can you send behind you through your fingertips? Flatten the spine. Exhale, down. Step back, high plank. Shoulders shift forwards. Elbows backwards. Chaturanga. All the way to the mat. Arms out wide. We got back extensions. You know what you're doing. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out to lower down. Squeeze the shoulder blades. We're going to pause at the top in 3, 2, 1. Lift it up. Squeeze. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the thighs for just a moment and melt to the mat. Tuck the toes. Press on up. That's it. Walk the feet to the hands. You got it. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Arms reach out to the side this time. Little extra challenge. Exhale, fold. Roll up through the spine. Palms touch above you and hands to heart. That is 3 rounds of our Pilates Surya Namaskar. A beautiful work, everybody. We're about to take a vinyasa flow all the way to warrior 2. So if you don't know your vinyasa, feel free to just have a breather and join us when we get there. So inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, tuck the chin, downward dog. Right foot steps in between the hands, left heel spins out so the foot is at 45 degrees and cartwheel to warrior 2. Time to pulse those arms, let's do it. Up and down, sending energy out through the fingertips, feeling shoulder blades down the spine, and let's go deep into that right leg. Time to circle, draw circles backwards. How good is that shoulder burn? Almost ready to circle the other direction. And let's do it. Circling forwards now. You're almost there. Come on. Breathe. Sink lower into the leg. Speaking of the leg, why don't we give that one a pulse too? Freeze the arms and just focus on that right thigh. Can you bend a little deeper each and every time? You're almost there. 3, 2, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, step back, high plank, crushed it. We're going to go for a step, 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 step. So into short plank and then back to high plank. Keep your shoulders over your wrists or over your fingertips. One tiny little step at a time. Nice work. You're almost there. Belly into spine. Hold it. You've got it. Come on. And hips up, downward dog. Nice work, everyone. Take a deep breath. Inhale, right leg opens to scorpion tail. Exhale, the knee comes to the chest. We're going to flow between those two. So scorpion tail, we have a bent leg. The hip is open. And then we exhale to a one-legged plank with right knee to chest. One more. Breathe in to open the hip. Breathe out, knee to chest. And step back, downward dog. Bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold. Scoop the belly as you rise, hands to touch. And exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're going to vinyasa flow to the other side. Remember, you can just meet us in warrior 2. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat spine. Exhale, step back. Elbows behind you, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot this time steps in between the hands. Right foot to 45 degrees and cartwheel up to warrior 2. Let's pulse it out, guys. With every pulse, I want you to imagine that you are Elastigirl and your arms reach longer and longer the more you are here. Give me a circle, tiny circles drawing backwards. For 3, 2, and circle forwards. How good is that burn? Can you deepen the bend in your left leg? Cartwheel back down to the mat, step into a high plank, and we're moving into mountain climbers. So you can either walk, as I'm demonstrating here, one knee at a time to the chest, or you can pick up the pace and give me a run. Either way, I want you to keep your shoulders over your fingers, your glutes down and switched on. For 3, 2, and hips to sky, downward dog. Let's inhale left foot to scorpion tail, open the hip, exhale knee to nose. Breathe in, send the hips back, breathe out, knee to nose. One more time, breathe in, breathe out. Now you can take a rest in downward dog. Then we're going to find our way to 4-point kneeling. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Working into tricep push-ups, we're going to send the elbows straight back behind us so that they pretty much brush against the ribs as the chin comes down to the floor, and exhale to lift. Now moving into Pilates push-ups. One foot goes back, tricep push-up, knees together, and then the other side. So it's not about how high the leg is going. The leg is just following the body as it tips down and up. We want to inhale as we bend the elbows and exhale to lift, almost like you're blowing the floor away from you. Just a little bit longer here. Come on, triceps, you've got it. Down, exhale up, and hips to heels. Give your triceps a little stretch. Beautiful work. Now, just because we love our triceps so much and we want them to be nice and strong for all of the chaturangas that we do in our yoga flows, we're going to do that entire set again. So you can either go straight into your Pilates push-ups, or you can start here with me in 4-point kneeling just to get warm, get used to that feeling of sending your elbows directly behind you. Every time you press up, you want to have the inside crease of your elbow facing the front so that your elbows are ready to move right backwards, not out to the side, not out at 45 degrees. You shouldn't really be feeling your chest when you're doing this. You should feel the back of your arm on fire. Stay connected to your breath, friends. Send the foot back, inhale down, exhale up, swapping sides. Foot back, inhale down, exhale up, and swap. You're doing so well. Give me one more here, and hips to heels. Give your triceps a stretch. Now we're going to give your back a little bit of love. So come into downward dog. Breathe in, right foot to the roof. The right foot steps in between the hands, left knee drops, and we're in our low lunge. Now breathe in to sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, cactus arms, shoulders down the back. We're going to flow between those two movements. Breathe in to rise and exhale to sink, feeling like your shoulder blades are drawing down the spine. They are so strong. Your back should be so active in this movement. Stay connected to breath. One more time. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, sink. And hands to the mat. Now tuck your back toe, lift the back knee, and we're going to step into that knee to nose position. Hold it here for 3, 2, back to high plank, and hips to the roof. All right, let's go the other side. So left foot in between the hands, back knee drops. Inhale to sweep the arms forward. Exhale, let's get the back moving again. While we're in this position, think about keeping the belly drawn into the spine. Even though we're working the back muscles, we still want that little bit of core activation. Stay connected to breath here. Breathe in to lift. Exhale to draw the shoulder blades down the spine. Hands to mat. Tuck your back toe. Lift the knee into the nose. And then back to downward dog. We're going to make our way to the top of the mat. So bend through the knees, step hop or jump to the top. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out to fold, rising all the way up, and hands sink down to the heart. Now turn to face the side with feet externally rotated. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's sink down to goddess, and lifting one heel at a time for single leg calf raises. Now stay low, low, low in those legs. I want to see you drop it low. We're going to keep the knees turned out so that the hips are open. And if you can, maybe go for a double leg heel lift. It is very tricky. Don't stress if you fall over. I nearly did several times while filming this. Now let's sink to Skandasana. We want the heel down, the knee pressed away from the face. And we're going to take these little spider crawls with your hands on the ground side to side. However, if you are comfortable in this position, you can take the hands away and just use the strength of your legs. You may not be this low to the ground yet, but that's okay. You will be one day. Let's go one more. And then you can sit down on the mat. That was Skandasana, my favorite word in the Sanskrit language. Now lying down on your back, we're going to take right leg to tabletop, left hand to knee, right hand to calf. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, C-curve, left leg long, and we switch. So we breathe in, breathe out. This is single leg stretch. This is a Pilates classic. Feet to tabletop, arms and legs reach long, then circle sweep back to tabletop. This one is called double leg stretch. We want to keep the pelvis tucked so the lower back is connected to the ground. Now scissor legs, we go pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. This is single straight leg stretch. Keep your pelvis tucked, both legs to the roof, hands behind the head. Lower down on an inhale, exhale to lift. Keep lower back connected to the mat. That is the most important part of this movement, not how low your legs are going. Inhale down, exhale up, and relax. You crushed it. We finished that off with a double straight leg stretch. Those were 4 of our most common Pilates abdominal exercises, and you just crushed it. So nice job. I've got wonderful news for you. That is the end of your hard work. So I'm just doing some windshield wipers here to release the hips, to take a second to catch my breath, close the eyes, and just enjoy all those beautiful endorphins that are pumping around the body. Let's come into a supine twist now. So left leg long across the mat, right leg goes across the body, and you take your gaze to the right. Breathe into the ribs, feel them expand, and breathe out to melt a little further into the mat. And as we head to the other side, I want you to enjoy this stretch with your eyes closed. Take a second to congratulate yourself for being here, for showing up on the mat, for doing something good for you today. Let's hold on to these feelings of peace and connection to self as we roll ourselves back to center, knees to chest, cross the ankles, hold on to the hamstrings, and rock and roll up to a seated position. We inhale to send the arms overhead. And with gratitude, hands to heart. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Beautiful work today. I'll see you next time.